Welcome back. Well, if anyone can attest to the hardships of the Vietnam War, those faced by both civilians and soldiers, it is this week's hometown hero. Michelle Lee Chen escaped from Vietnam as a child while her dad was fighting alongside American servicemen. She has since dedicated her life to supporting those who fought in that war, as well as other veterans, spending time at our local VA hospital and nursing homes. Her work was recently recognized by the Port St Lucie chapter of the Vietnam Veterans of America group. They presented her with a Lifetime Hero Award during a special ceremony at Veterans Memorial Park. Michelle says she does it all in honor of her father. Here's her story.
The day that I was born, maybe an hour later, my father has to radio home to tell my mother to evacuate the place because that whole place will be bombed by the communist Vietnam.
Born in the middle of the Vietnam War, Michelle Lee Chen recalls the horrors of growing up in South Vietnam while her father, alongside U.S. soldiers, was fighting for her freedom.
He was the last general, one of the few last general, was still fighting on April, between April 12th to 30th, to hold back the communists from coming to Saigon. So he gave more American U.S. Marine to get the American out of Vietnam, and also the South Vietnamese people to get out of Vietnam.
But after that, he would be taken by the North, kept as a prisoner of war for 17 years.
He was kept in the Hanoi communist concentration camp. Many people call it re-education camp, but it wasn't really a re-education. They were tortured, starved, mentally and physically abused for many years.
During that time, Michelle, her mother, and sister escaped the country by boat, finally making it out on their 6th attempt. Michelle was just 9 years old.
The beautiful thing that I always remember is when we get on the airplane to go to the United States, we had to stop by Hong Kong first. We didn't have anything on us. We just have an outfit that Good Samaritan people gave us, God bless them. We didn't have shoes, we were still in flip-flop. We arrived in the United States in November. It was freezing, but we cried because we know we're free.
Her dad was also eventually freed under the order of President Ronald Reagan in 1992. Michelle still has a copy of the letter written by her father that was smuggled out of the camp where he was being kept in Vietnam and sent to the White House. Her dad passed away in 2020, but she's keeping his memory alive, sharing his stories with other Vietnam War veterans and listening to theirs.
A lot of people misunderstood the veterans, the Vietnam veterans. These are my heroes. My dad, the South Vietnamese, ARVN's men, and Vietnam veterans are my heroes.
As you can imagine, it's very emotional for Michelle to sort of relive everything that she's been through, and she said it's very emotional when she visits the veterans as well. They share their story, she shares hers, but she says it's sort of a healing process for everyone too.
Fantastic. Is she sharing his stories in other ways too?
She is, and she actually, before her father passed away, they sat down and recorded 13 tapes with all of his stories from his time fighting and as a prisoner of war, and she later turned it into a book, which she hopes will live on for generations so that, you know, future generations still get to hear these stories.
What's the name of the book?
It's called Children of Hope. Hi, I'm Sam Kerrigan for CBS 12 News. Click the like and subscribe buttons if you want to see more stories like this that impact you.